Hey, good morning. Welcome to Headless in Bed. Thank you for joining me. Today is Monday, April the 12th, 2021. And today we're going to focus on student newspapers. And we're going to dedicate the entire session to the Washington Square News as sort of our lab to see how informative uh, community-oriented the student newspapers are, specifically university student newspapers. Washington Square News is NYU's independent newspaper, established in 1973. So let's take a look. Uh, how how will Safe Rides partnership with VIA affect NYU students? I'm not sure what Safe Ride is. I'm not sure what VIA is. It must be some sort of um, commuting lines, shuttle lines by transportation provider. Gunda Review, a love letter to farm animals. Um, Staff rants and raves on vaccines. 886, a Taiwanese restaurant that empowered the NYC community during COVID-19. GSOC authorizes potential strike. SGA passes 3 resolutions and all of them require student participation. Meet the students behind the mask. Why Wen Ning Son is my favorite player. How will Safe Rides? Okay, we already read that. Cutting ties with line cutters. A student's friendships. A student. A student's friendships are tested after ineligible friends get vaccinated. That's an interesting story. SCA students argue for reparations at NYU. Teaching assistants at Tandon on strike. How K-pop groups create a community during COVID-19. How Sweet Pickle Books keeps the Lower East Side legacy alive. Sweet Pickle Books. How service organizations, very many how service organizations help New Yorkers in need during the pandemic. How. Saving the planet and your wallet. Tamam Falafel offers new options for vegan students. Making performance arts possible online. Marina Abramovic collaborates with WeTransfer. Giants Being Lonely Review, a realistic portrait of what seems to be a teenager. Uh, Lil Nas X Montero video is a conceptual masterpiece. I haven't watched it. Shiva Baby embraces the horror of communal gatherings. Weekly Radio Roundup, April 3rd through the 9th. We're just going to come back up here and see what is trending. Love, sex, and all the rest. Sex, positions, and numbers. Very important for a university student to know that. Blocking your ex. Petty move or power move. You call the shots. Farbin Tawhid. Tish, first year beloved for kindness, passion, and talent, dies at 19. Wow. NYU continues to fail black students. NYU still needs to take action for LGBTQ plus rights. Hotel evictions show NYC's disregard for homeless people's needs. Funding the MTA is a necessity. Providing spaces for black students does not mean segregation. In the opinion section, NYU must do more to help low-income students. President Biden cancels President Biden cancels student loan debt. The NYPD's war against racial justice protesters. Staff rants and raves. Vaccines. We need spring break. Stop exploding nations in your arguments against affirmative action. Dispelling the model minority myth must include Jewish Americans. The urgency of supporting the strike on NYU. NYU needs to combat the bystander effect. Congratulations. I think this has a spirit of student life, uh, speaks of politics, of the student life, of culture, of restaurants. Um, I think it's well rounded. I think it's, and the mask is quite classic. Um, yeah, very grown up. Um, I think there's a couple stories that I would be interested in reading, like the one cutting ties with line cutters, how cutting a line for the COVID vaccine uh, has an impact on friendships. That's quite interesting. And the one about reparations also. Um, so here, there you go. I think looking into university student newspapers is going to be a nice uh, pivot to our checking headlines in bed. And for that, I thank you for uh, joining me today, um, April Monday, April the 12th, 2021. It's currently forecast, but the day still has the potential to be a great one. Make it so. See you tomorrow.